Hello. Good morning. Um, Welcome. We're just welcome. So we're just gonna start our video today, and yeah, um, I had a I wrote a little something that I wanted to talk about, and to be honest with you, I got this from listening to Muji this morning, and who I really enjoy and I listen to often, and you know the there's this idea that we have that we know who we are. We think we know who we are. And he shared something this morning that was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't quite seen it that way. And he said, so do you remember who you were at 15? And even if you didn't think about it much at 15, you were pretty certain that whatever was happening or wherever, that this is who you were. And the same at 20, and the same at 25. And for some of us who are older, the same at 30 and 35 and 40. We were certain at the time of who we were. And we even said, this is who I am. I can't change me. This is who I am. And yet, that who I was, or who I thought I was, did change. It changed drastically from when I was 15 to when I was, you know, 20 and 25, and drastically. So just look at this for yourself. Who were you then? And your certainty that that's who you were. Your certainty that this is who I am. And we start to see that everything changes. Nothing stays the same in the outside world. Nothing stays the same. There's no consistency. So that wasn't who we are really. It might have been who we thought we were at the time, but what it comes down to really in essence is that we don't know who we are. And we just know the story of ourselves. And often, for many of us, the story of ourselves is not very pleasant. The story we've been told about ourselves as maybe as a child, and that we believed that's who we were, and that undercurrent ran through in most of our belief about ourselves. But we had a belief about ourselves, but not a knowing, not a real knowing of ourselves. And so you think of it, what do you really know? What do I really know? And so what Muji was pointing to in his conversation today was that everything on the outside, everything is changing always. It can't be held on to. Nothing that we create stays. Nothing that we think we are stays. Our relationships are always shifting and changing. It's always a moving thing. And so, what is there that's stable? And many of us have a belief in the stories that say religion has created, the story we believe, but we don't have the experience of the oneness. And in the 12 steps that many of us, many of the people that I talk to on a daily basis are interested in we call it recovery, but it's an awakening really. It can be we can call it recovery because many of us are we need to recover from a state seemingly a hopeless state of mind and body, right? Many of us need to recover from that state of mind and body because we recognize that our mind isn't actually serving us, and we recognize that we don't know who we are. We recognize that, it's pretty scary when we wake up to all the things we thought, we're trying to hang on to all these things, and that it wasn't really working for us. So, so what do we do? Yes, the road back home is consistent. Yes, and it is that. My friend Harold says the road back home is consistent. And is it? Is it? Is there any home in a sense? It's a feeling, an illusion, a dream. Unless the home that we're speaking of is deep within, and if the home is within, then that's where we discover this oneness, this who we truly are, this peace beyond any understanding. You know, and because from the mind we can't really trust the mind. The mind is a tool, and it's a beautiful tool, but when it's running the show, you know, it's it's scrambling and grasping at what what it thinks the truth is, you know, and is there any truth in that persona, in that outside, in that psyche, if you will, you know? So that's my thing today, to just ask questions. I mean, questions are good. We are really our awareness grows, our consciousness grows through the quality of our questions. And who do you who do you think you are? Who are you? Tell me who you are. Ask that question of yourself. Who am I? Am I what I do for a living? Am I an artist because I create art? I mean, we are in a way those things, but those things are always moving. They're like the Maya. It's like a cloud. It's always changing form, and much like a cloud, and so it has no stability, and sometimes we go a little crazy because we're like, oh my gosh, we have no stability here. This is we are, just we're changing forms. I mean, look at, and the body even is continually changing form, and we're trying to hold on to things, and we can't hold on to anything. It's all just slipping through our fingers always. And that's and that's the beauty of it. If we recognize that, then we can turn inward, and we can begin to surrender all of what we thought was real, we the to the unreal, so because it isn't real. We thought it was real at 15, right? We said, this is who I am, this is who I am. We thought it was real at 20, and we thought it was real at 25, but we see now as we look back that it wasn't, because it was just changing form all the time. It has nothing. There's nothing permanent in the outside world, and so we're the observer of the outside world. We're the observer of the mind, and the mind is really struggling sometimes to hold on, right, to relationships or to possessions. Nothing. My grandfather Glenn used to say, I love Glenn. Glenn was the poet, an amazing man, and he said, you never see a U-Haul trailer behind a hearse. Right? And it was a long time ago. He used to say that like to me in the 70s. And you never see a U-Haul trailer behind a hearse. So it's all just slipping through. So where is the permanent? What is the permanent? Who are we? Who are you? Who am I? I am that essence that came into this body. I am that essence that will leave this body. And the essence doesn't die. And it wasn't born in our traditional way. But we're so attached to this form and to what's happening. We think around us, and we use emotion to attach to it, and anger and fear. Okay, and it's not that pleasant, is it? So here, just to ask those questions, and in step one in the recovery program, it tells us, that not only were we powerless over whatever our addiction happened to be, but we were also unable to manage our lives. We were unable, we could kind of bumble along, but not truly manage, because we can't control anything, nothing, you know. So We can set a vision, and it tells us in lots of goal setting practices to create a vision and not to worry about the how to, because we're able to make things happen, but not in the detail of the how to. We just we become part of it, and then it's really hard to say whether the idea was ours or not, whether it was grace, or where it came from. Because once you plug into the inner wisdom, once you plug into the wisdom of the ages, it's hard to say where things come from. So that's my thing, to recognize that there is a power greater than us, and that we can plug into that, and that is permanent, that is reliable, where the moment outside is not reliable. We don't know anything. We don't even know how long we have here. So that's it. I'm just going to read a little bit from the daily book that I read from, and love it if you join me for that. You guys, it's um, the we're getting really close to the end of the year, 29th of December. We're going to read from this book I've been reading from for a while. Is the 24-hour day book. It's a beautiful little, daily spiritual reading book, and I love it. It has some really sweet stuff in it, and it talks a lot about the 12-step program, a lot about AA, and 12 steps really helped me to gradually. I mean, there's 12 steps, and the fellowship are so patient with us to allow us to grow up. And I think becoming aware of our inner wisdom, of our inner God, is how we grow up. It is our growing up. And we let go of the illusion, of the dream of whatever it is, some of us so desperately wanting to be in that right relationship, or to have success in business, or to hang on to our body. We're going to the gym and we're running and running to try to defeat age. It's almost a joke, just to be with what is. Here we are, accepting in each moment life on life's terms. And the 12-step program is so patient with us to allow us lots of room to move, participating, it says, in the privileges of the movement. I shall share in the responsibilities, taking upon myself to carry my fair share of the load, not grudgingly, but joyfully. He's talking about the fellowship, because there is a beautiful fellowship. I'm deeply grateful for my privileges I enjoy, because my membership in this great movement, they put an obligation upon me which I will not shirk. I will gladly carry my fair share of the burdens, because of the joy of doing them. They will no longer be burdens, but opportunities. So it's talking about how the whole organization, stays together. It's all volunteer, and there's no leaders. It's beautiful. Meditation for the day. Work and prayer are the two forces which are gradually making a better world. We must work for the betterment of ourselves and our fellow man. Faith without works is dead, but all work with people should be based on prayer. If we say a little prayer before we speak or try to help, it will make us more effective. Prayer is the force behind the work. Prayer is based on faith that God is working with us and through us. We can believe that nothing is impossible in human relationships if we depend on the help of God. And their reference to God in the 12-step world is really based on your conception. It's so broad. It's so broad. It really is. There's, in my conception, of course, is that God, or my relationship with God, is in the moment. So prayer brings us into the moment. That's how I see it. I don't have an image. I don't have a form. It's formless. Consciousness. Bill Wilson said beautifully in We Agnostics, God either is or he isn't. Either he's everything or he's nothing. And so well said. So my concept's quite broad. Prayer for the day. I pray that my life will be balanced between prayer and work. I pray that I may not work without prayer or pray without work. Beautiful. That's the reading for the day. And I thought, hopefully that question goes home for you a little bit. We were so certain of who we thought we were at at a young age, and even who we thought we were 5 years ago. And now we see who we are today. Who are we today? And if you go deep into the question, who am I? Even start to write down, who am I? And all the things that we'll generally write down are not who we are, but what we've done, what we do, what our relationships are, what we believe. We think that our beliefs are who we are, and we'll discover that we don't know, and that all of it is story, and we could just let it all go. We can surrender it all, because it's not true. It's not who we really are. Isn't that a gift, to find out who you are beyond who you think you are or what you do? Yeah, beautiful gift. So if you want to discover that connection and that oneness to universal intelligence, that we are, consciousness, that we are, beyond this form, we are consciousness, and in this form we are consciousness. We do it sometimes with the help of meditation, and we're going to meditate for a few minutes, and yeah, we're just going to sit and meditate for a few minutes. So if you'd like to join, drop in. This is good practice. To meditate together is really good practice. So drop in, just sit back if you like. Close your eyes and join me if you'd like. A little meditation. Harold, are you still here? Hey, buddy. Okay, just close your eyes and settle down. Settle in. Many times people have said to me, "Oh, David, I have so much trouble meditating because my mind is so busy." Remember, the mind is a tool. It works for us. It's not the boss. And who's the "my" that's saying "my mind"? The mind is yours, then you can stand apart from it. You can observe it. You can be the witness of it. And then you don't have to be in any struggle with it. We can just ask it to relax. We're just going to take a few minutes to just be here now, in this moment. And in this moment is where everything's happening. When we begin to stop processing the moment through the mind, we begin to experience the moment as the one, as the now, as the isness, as the undescribable, as that. And use our breath to bring us into the moment. Just feel the body as it relaxes into now. Feel the body as it relaxes into now with the breath. Everything is perfect. Nothing is missing. We are all one. No story, no againstness, no beginning, no end, nowhere to go, no next, no past. Only now. as we do this on a daily basis, just remember to include any sounds, any feelings, any struggle in the body, just include it. Okay. Just come back when you're ready. I feel like I could have stayed there for an hour. It's beautiful. I love you guys. Send in sweet love every day to you all. Remember to ask, who am I? Who is the I that's asking, who am I? Appreciate you coming by. Love you lots. Love it if you'd go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and make a comment or a like or a share. I'm going to build the YouTube channel, I think, in 2021. The thought is to reach more people and, hopefully carry a message of love, a message of presence, a message of awakening to more people in the next year. And I think we can do that together. I need your support for that. It's a kind of a group thing. If you have any thoughts or ideas on that, I'd love to hear them. Hey, Jason. Love you, brother. Yeah. Okay. Talk to you soon.